Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk. Oh,
I'm back, baby. Let's go.
Clickety clack. Back
Clickety
to
back,
help you.
clickety clack. It's Lando.
That's right.
This is the intros now. Lando.
Oh, I'm here. I'm back from Florida. It's much, much colder here in Utah, and I'm very unhappy about it. A little cranky. Cranky Lando.
You cranky? I don't believe it.
Couldn't believe it.
Always.
Slightly less cranky, maybe. It's Jaren.
Just a little.
Hi, I'm Lando. This is
You
Lando.
stink. I hate you so
Wow.
much.
It's uncanny. Uncanny.
Just like him. Just like him.
Just uncanny.
I'm Jaren. You can find me on Twitter at Jaren. Or I've been on Blue Sky lately. Well,
Ooh.
lurking like Owen. You can find me at Geronius on Blue Sky. And that's it. Owen.
And
Hey.
it's Owen.
Coming
He
to you
lurks.
from. Look, could you say, if you're watching on YouTube, look how good my video is because the lighting here
Yeah, it
in my
looks
work
quite
office
good.
is so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, I should do this.
So, yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at TechNoan or on Blue Sky. Same thing, at TechNoan. And you can follow our host, too, Tony.
Hey, that's me.
The enthusiasm was right there, Owen.
I've had a long night, okay?
I feel like the enthusiasm was right where it needed to be. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony or on Blue Sky sometimes at QuadT. I'm barely considered a lurker on Blue Sky. There's just not much happening on there. Or on the Geek Show podcast. All right, let's see. We are running a late recording tonight, so we are going to forego emails this week, but we will get back to your emails next week. And we're going to go right into the stories.
Let's go.
Big stories this week. Probably the biggest. Some more Twitter stuff. No, that's not it. Apple
Nope.
event. Apple
The Apple-
event is
This is the sneaky one, right? This was the sneaky event?
Yep. There's only like
Sneaky.
3
Scary.
days notice. Yeah.
It was the scary
And
event.
No one knows why it was held so late at night.
That was very unlike them. Usually
Yeah.
they are 11 or 12 in the morning and they did it at 5 p.m. California time.
Some people theorized that there's going to be some remote calling from Japan or something. I don't know.
No,
Didn't
that
happen.
No.
Didn't happen.
It was just scary. You know, scary things happen at night.
When it's still light outside.
Hey, don't,
What's scary?
don't-
What's
don't-
scary? But what was scary? They're gonna say, "Oh, sorry, we're closing our doors."
They released a black MacBook Pro.
That was pretty scary.
Spooky.
That's pretty spooky.
And they also killed off the MacBook Pro 13. So
Which-
maybe that's the scary part.
That should have been killed off a while back, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
No more Touch Bar. Yay, it's gone.
it's
We could just
finally gone.
erase that from our collective memories. It never
You
happened.
know, I kind of like the touch bar. Every once in a while, it was
yeah,
useful.
you would.
Every once in a while, when it was useful, it was dang useful.
That's
but
the
most
thing.
of
No
the
way,
time,
'cause
it was
you-
not.
No. The niche usage of it, I found on the MacBook 13 that I had for a while for work. Actually, there was times where I was like, "Oh, that is nice."
Yeah, like
But
I said,
it was-
every once in a while.
It was rare. It was very rare.
Problem
that
is, you have to
happened.
look down whenever you need to touch it. And I'm looking at the screen, not down at my hands.
That's fair.
Well, I have pretty good peripheral vision. Sounds like you don't, so it's easy
No,
to
it's just a
see.
big black circle.
I thought so. But yeah, Lando, what else? What was the big gist of the event?
M3 processors. Let's go. They're better. They're
Wow.
faster. They're awesomer. There's a lot of stuff towards gaming, right? So I think I'm jumping the gun here a little bit, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna be all over the place because I'm tired and I don't care.
This is normal.
Yeah, probably.
At least
so
you have an
if you
excuse this
remember-
time.
If you remember recently, we had some news stories about how Apple had a translation layer for gaming stuff to help Windows people port their stuff to Windows. And we're like,
Similar
oh, this is
to
kind of cool.
Proton for Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Similar to Proton for Steam Deck or whatnot. But we thought to ourselves, well, it's not great yet, but it could point signals towards Mac becoming a better gaming platform, which was interesting. But we were like, we'll see what happens. But I think with the new M3, I think we're seeing some of the output of that, like some of that
Some of the
payoff there, right?
Some of the fruits
So
of
there
their
was
labor.
There was a lot of
Apple
focus on the GPU cores of the M3, right? So the M3 is a combined architecture for the CPU and the GPU and the memory. putting it all together and making it better. Like they're doing things like and using words like ray tracing, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I'm sure Jaron and Tony could help fill us in. But like those gaming type words to making it's like, wait, is Mac going to do gaming now? It's kind of crazy.
It's interesting what they did. One of my lights turn off? What in the heck?
They're getting more serious about gaming, but I wouldn't say
point.
they're doing gaming now. Well, I guess to be fair, they're making a buttload of money from gaming in the App Store, but I guess when I say gaming, I mean serious AAA gaming, not casual games.
They're making steps in the direction of that. They're not there yet, of course.
Right, and the things they are doing is really interesting. So for the GPU, they added accelerated mesh shading, and this was tech that debuted like 5 or 6 years ago, and basically it helps cull geometry in a scene that isn't being used, so it's more efficient for the GPU to load in geometry. And the first game that actually uses it came out last week, Alan Wake 2, and so it's not widely used yet. So that's not really the important bit there. But the ray tracing, that's nice.
Well, and what about there's this new thing called dynamic caching, which sounded really cool, but it was that moment when you above my head, I'm like,
and
I think that's cooler than it actually is, but I don't know what it is.
I felt the same way because they are the first ones to do this, or at least to call it that, and I wasn't exactly sure what it was supposed to.
I watched the Linus Tech Tip video on it, and he made it sound really cool. I still didn't understand it, but he was impressed, which is a big deal.
It sounds like it just tries to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Allocate memory dynamically in a much more efficient way than was
real
possible.
time. Yeah, because so the way they explained it was basically you have these peaks and valleys on memory usage,
right?
And the way it traditionally has been is when it hits a peak, it just allocates that much, even though it might not need that peak for quite a while longer as it goes after that. But it still allocates that much,
which makes it unavailable for other processes.
Exactly. Now with this, it's supposed to in real time keep up with the demand and increase and decrease the cache based on what's needed.
So that would need less RAM to get the same results as if you had more RAM.
Right.
In most circumstances, yes, but you would still run into the same peak, and if you don't have enough RAM to keep up with whatever that peak is, you still hit a ceiling.
I have a question, Tony. So one of the things we've harped on Apple, and I think a lot of people have, is their base models of their new MacBooks are still 8 gigabytes of RAM. Does this help with that situation and making the OS run more efficiently on less RAM?
It should, but this dynamic caching only applies to video RAM. It doesn't apply to system RAM.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
system RAM's still poopy.
Yeah, I mean, yes, in that the amount is 8 gigabytes, it's poopy. But the thing you do have to remember is on the M processors, the system RAM and the video RAM are one and the same.
Right.
So it should end up being more efficient for the low RAM devices because it
outside of gaming though, 8 gigs is not very much.
No, 8 gigs is a very small amount of system RAM to have.
But I would say for probably most people doing most things,
for your average bare bones user, like your mom. Your moms,
people
all our
who
moms
aren't like
could
video
probably get by
professionals or
on
IT
8
professionals
gigs.
are probably okay.
No, they can't get by with 8 gigs because they leave
even on
everything
a Mac?
open. They need more than 8 gigs.
That's a good point.
true.
Valid point, Jaron. Yes.
So that's one bad thing. I wish the 16 gigs was standard
baseline,
nowadays. But they debuted a new iMac with the M3. That was a big
all
one.
that's new about it.
Because they skipped the M2 in the iMac, so big upgrade there. Everything else is the same.
The other thing that's weird about that to me is they don't offer any faster M3s in there, just the M3.
I know they need
Pro or
to.
Max.
They need to release an iMac Pro.
Yeah, just put the Mac. You don't have to do the Macs. People that want the Macs are going to buy the Studio or a MacBook Pro, but give at least iMac the Pro option, Mac M3 Pro. But
although I could make the argument that the iMac is geared towards families, And most families doing most family type things don't need a Pro processor.
It's true, but if
No,
if
I disagree again because kids don't close things either.
well,
They need more
That's-
processing power.
that's more of a RAM thing. But I was going to say, if it's a family,
It also, hey, unclosed applications also take up CPU resources. You know that.
That's
chances
not as bad on a Mac.
chances are
Not like
that
Windows.
chances are that
You
there's
shut
kids.
Windows
your
are better.
mouth.
Windows better at process management than Mac, or Macs are better at process management than Windows is.
Proof.
I have no proof. I
Mute
just have
them,
personal
Tony.
experience.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it.
Tony, what were you
I'm not
saying?
wrong though.
I think Landon's right on this one actually, but
Yes.
I don't think
Bull
it's
crap.
that much better than Windows is now. It used to be a lot better than Windows, but Windows made huge inroads over the last 4 to 5 years. Anyway, if it's a family, chances are they're going to have kids that want to play games, and if Mac is actually trying to push into the gaming space, a family computer I think would at least need the option for an M3 Pro for people that want to get something that'll game decently, because the difference between the M3 and the M3 Pro on the GPU cores is like over 50%.
A lot.
It's quite large.
Yep. So like we said earlier, they got rid of the 13-inch MacBook Pro, replaced it with the 14-inch, and stuck the M3 in there. So that's the new baseline MacBook Pro. And of course, you can upgrade the 14 to M3 Pro or M3 Max. Is that what they're not Ultra? Yeah, Max. But other
Make
than
it
that,
spendy fast. By the way,
the
Yeah, it
Pro
adds up
laptops.
Did you see what they can go up to?
like,
Like what their cores? It's something like 40 cores or something?
No,
Well, that's in the
I'm getting to
GPU.
that. I'm getting to
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah. I want to know your place.
Sorry.
he's
So
kind of a jerk, isn't he, when he's tired?
beyond M3, the only really change is that there's an increased brightness in the screen. It's 600
More
nits now
nits.
instead of 500. And this is just SD content. It's the same peak brightness for HD content.
I thought it was more.
No, they did not say any increase on HDR content.
Okay.
It was they only
Yep.
specified SDR content.
I thought it was more, but maybe I'm wrong.
Man, look it
But
up.
yeah,
You
you-
got
I'm usually
time.
wrong.
You're wrong. Yeah. Anyway, so the M3 Pro versus the M2 Pro, kind of interesting. It's some upgrades and some downgrades.
Yeah.
The M3 Pro has 200 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth. M2 Pro has 200 megabytes memory bandwidth, whereas the M3 only has 150. So they brought down the memory bandwidth in the new M3 Pro, and they also diminished the amount of performance cores. It went from 8 performance cores down to 6.
But this
But
is
they
only
transferred those to efficiency cores. So now 6 performance, 6 efficiency.
but this is only in the first level M3 Pro. You can buy the next tier up M3 Pro that has 8 performance cores again, and I think 8 efficiency cores. Is that right? Or,
That's the M3 Max.
oh, the max goes to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So the Max doesn't have a decrease in memory bandwidth, and it actually has more cores than
In the previous max.
than the previous Max. And so all their comparisons comparing the chips was to the M1, which was not great, and the
Well-
old Intel chips.
Yeah. Now the Intel
They
you could
dogged on Intel a lot.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that this presentation was geared toward, hey, if you haven't bought a MacBook Pro in the last 3 years, here's why you should upgrade or, buy a new one. And
Yeah,
so,
I guess it does make sense because the previous MacBook Pros came out in January of this year. 2
Yeah.
upgrades in the same year to
Yeah,
MacBook Pro, so
pretty weird.
it's nuts.
Well, and then the other thing that they did differently was they usually stagger the standard M whatever and the Pro and the Max with like 6 months or more apart. So in the past, it's always been the Air and the 13-inch got the new M series, and then like 6 months later, they'd show the M1 or M2 Pro or the M1, M2 Max. But this time, they just did them all in the same go.
It's weird that they didn't upgrade the Air at all.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think that's weird because they just barely released the 15 with the M2 like 3 months ago, or maybe
Has it
4
been
months
that
ago.
soon? Wow, okay.
It's very recent, and so but now they can go on a nice TikTok with each one. They can do the MacBook Pros in the fall, and they can do the Airs in the spring, and just I'll bet that's what they end up doing.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Yep.
And space black color for the MacBook Pros, the expensive ones.
Yeah, I was
It's handsome. I like it.
Oh, it looks really good. I was watching MKBHD's video about it, and he basically, the whole time, he's like, this stuff looks really good performance-wise. I'm not sure if I could justify, because even on my M1 Max, I still rarely ever hit the ceiling of it. He's like, but then they showed off the new color. And so I'm probably going to have to get the new one for the color. And when you have money like him and connections like him, yeah, go
Sure.
ahead. Well, upgrade for the better color, you know?
Yeah.
Must be
So.
nice.
Indeed, indeed.
Did you get to it yet, Jared? Or did you just tell me to shut up and stay in my lane, and then didn't talk about the 40 core chip? Is that
40 core GPU chip. Well said, Owen. You're right. You're right.
Get
okay?
him, Owen. Get him. Get him.
That was great. That was great.
All right.
So the GPU on the top tier Max has 40 GPU cores. The base tier Max has 30 GPU cores, and the Pro has, I want to say, 18 GPU cores, if I remember correctly. So it is a big jump, even from the Pro to the first level Max. You're getting, what is that, like 60% increase in GPU performance?
Yeah.
And then the regular M3, I think, has 8 GPU cores, or 10. It might be 10.
I think it's
So we
Yeah,
so we
it's
we
10.
had this came out on the 30th, and we had just the weekend to or just one day, right? Before we had people at work asking for one.
Yep.
And so we've been
Yeah.
and so we have been looking at them, and they come with weird memory configurations, like
Yes.
like
18
36,
gigs of RAM,
36, 48. And so we pulled all the way up to the top. What could you do? You can ship one with 128 gigabytes of RAM that they'll
Yep.
do, 8 terabyte drive, and that upgraded sock, right? For the 14-inch, that comes in at $6,900. Okay,
Nice.
so that's $6,900. But if you switch to the 16-inch and do the same, it's only 72. So it's like only like a $300 difference between screen sizes now, which screen size used to be the big factor
Yeah.
for price difference. And so, but like that is a monster device, like, and the improvements with those cores over the other M series is just,
Bonkers.
it's
it's
bonkers.
the
If you
fastest
can,
ever.
we had, I mean, I don't want to call anybody from my company out, but it was somebody to my company that was like, I need this, and I need the full cores, the 40 core.
What?
And we were like,
what is he
for?
doing? DNA sequencing? I mean,
I don't want to say what his position is, but
protein
it
folding?
is. I don't know. I don't know. I suspect Baldur's Gate.
C-suite
Baldur's
person, right?
Gating.
It is out on Mac, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, it
Okay.
is. Interesting.
That's
So,
funny. So,
Anyway, that's they're spendy $7,200 for that top end device.
Yeah, that
and
is
that's a laptop.
nuts.
That's a laptop.
Yeah, that's a
mind you.
laptop. Yeah, it's a
So
laptop.
that will only last as long as the battery does.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have to replace.
They gotta
hopefully
be-
replace the
yeah.
battery.
They gotta
but
be
if the
moving
battery
towards that.
lasts anything like my current M2 laptop, the batteries are phenomenal and they
No, no,
last
no.
forever.
I'm not talking about in between charges. I'm talking about
No, I
before
know what
it
you're talking
swells
about.
and
Right. Just loses
breaks.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
You know,
like
I
they
bet
do.
the dying batteries of Apple devices wouldn't be such a problem if their stores weren't so dang far away. I mean, it's not a problem for everyone, but for a lot, you have to travel quite far to
Yep.
bring in your device, leave
Or
it there,
ship it.
come
Yep.
back again.
Yeah. I
Ugh.
think that I can't remember if I watched the teardown of the M2 MacBook Pros, but I think I did of the M1s, and actually replacing the battery isn't too terrible in those, if I remember correctly. That's one of the things they actually did plan for, so that their technicians aren't pulling their hair out every time a battery
Yeah.
replacement needs to be done.
Well, and aren't they starting to crack the door on third-party operators getting verified with Apple support and letting them
Yeah.
do those authorized repairs?
Right, authorized. You still got to buy all your parts from Apple and everything like that. But
Yep.
it is becoming a lot easier with the right to repair stuff.
So your warranty's not borked.
Yes. So anyway, that's the Apple stuff. It was all about the M3, the new M3 stuff. All right. Let's talk. You know what? We have another Apple article here. Let's just get it out of the way. Owen has an article here about
This is
packaging.
cool.
Yeah, so one of the things that you get when you buy a device is, especially for like the new iPhones and stuff, you'll get these where they've been on the shelf, but then there's been some major security patches or whatever. And so the first thing that people do when they get out of the box have to sit and wait for an hour or so, whatever, to
All the updates.
to update their phone. Well, Apple showed off one of a new device that they're working on that basically you set the phone on this device, it powers it up inside the box, runs the updates, and then shuts it down. And
Wait, it does it without taking it out of the box?
without unsealing it, yeah.
Okay.
So that they can
okay.
update, so that stores can update their inventory without having to, reseal it and everything. And I thought to myself, that is neat. But then I thought to myself, what if somebody else gets that? Like what kind of a device can turn on the phone inside the box and then run commands? And do I want that as consumers? So it was kind of like a interesting way to get a problem solved, but sometimes it's the problem creating another solution. Like when Sony created rootkits for us.
Oh yeah.
They were
Thanks, Sony.
They were like, we are going to do some R&D and stop people from being able to download and copy CDs. Also, it's called a rootkit, and we gave it to the world. Here you go.
Hackers rejoice.
They rejoiced mightily. Anyway, that's it. It's weird and it's cool, but it's a little nerve-wracking, a little scary.
And is it 100% like success rate, or else
Well-
will some people just be getting a dead device sometimes?
I don't know. They didn't. I think they said that this is still in the testing phase, so they haven't pushed it out yet. This was in one of their. They went in here to show, just kind of show it off. This was for the executive team. I don't think that this was pushed out widely across the environment. So.
Yeah,
But
could
in
you-
this article they have posted, it's actually kind of a side note where they were talking about executive promotions, and they're like, oh, and they showed them this, and it was this like device they pulled out at the end to update Apple devices inside the box.
Could you imagine what would happen if it bricked the device accidentally?
No,
They sell you
no.
a phone that just doesn't even turn on. That
Yep.
would suck. So, all right, there you go. That's all the Apple news for today. Let's move on to social media news because that's always fun. Well, it looks like all the different social medias, and by all the difference, I mean the three big ones, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, are looking at starting to charge you to use their platform. Twitter, I think we talked about this already, has announced that in certain countries they are testing a $1 fee to get started with your account so that you can post.
They want to do this to block bots,
block
though, right?
bots. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But then they
Yeah,
also
you sure focused on bots when there seems to be more bots now than there ever has been.
Yeah.
They also have announced 2 new tiers to their subscription offering. As we know, they have Twitter Blue right now that's $6.
A joke?
It feels like a
Can
joke.
confirm.
$6 or $8. I can't remember which because I don't care. But they're offering a tier below that and a tier above that now. So the tier below is going to be $3, and where did that go? Oh, they call it their basic tier. So that basically just what does it say? Removes ads from Twitter's timeline. And they get a bigger algorithmic boost in replies and stuff when they reply to tweets. Oh, sorry. That's the Premium Plus one. That's the $16 a month.
Right.
Tier.
16?
You don't get
Yeah,
access
that's a
to the
whole bunch.
Yeah, you don't get access to the algorithm until you pay the big bucks.
$16 a month, and you get
That is not worth $16.
Yep, you get preferred treatment by the algorithm, and you get all ads removed from your timeline.
I
You
guess
also
I guess it
remove
depends on how
ads.
you're. I guess it depends on how you're using Twitter, right? Like if you're using Twitter as a business, maybe $16 a month isn't that catastrophic. If that's what you're using to push
No,
your
I thought
results
he charged
further.
business accounts much more than
Yeah,
$16.
business
Oh,
accounts are
really?
different. They're a different,
Yeah.
whole different thing.
So just as an influencer, you would
Yep,
pay
just-
$16? No
Yep.
way.
Or as a
No
user.
way.
So the $3 basic tier gets you a limited set of features compared to Premium and Premium Plus, and also, first off, does not include the blue check mark. $3 isn't enough
That's
to
not
get you
the
that
blue check.
check mark.
Well, that's actually more appealing, though.
Yeah.
I
For a lot of
wouldn't.
people, that is more appealing.
Yeah.
And then does not include revenue sharing on your tweets that go viral.
Oh,
You have
so you
to
won't
pay
get your
the-
10 cents a month.
Yeah, you have to pay the
What
6
about
or
the
6.
ads? Does it get rid of ads?
Nope. Still got ads.
So what's the point?
An
get-
ad blocker also gets rid of ads on
Yeah.
Twitter, and it's free.
What
Mm-hmm.
it does get you for sure though is editing of your tweets. So that's the lowest paywall you can get used to edit your tweets. You can post longer tweets, download videos, and a quote small reply boost end quote.
Yeah,
Could
these
you-
stupid-
For-
these dumb
for the
long tweets? I
algorithm.
hate those long tweets. I miss the 140 character tweet limit.
Right.
Those were the days. That's what
liked
made
two-
Twitter so great. Was the
I liked
microblogging platform.
I felt like 280 was a sweet spot
So
myself.
so
I
could
was
you couldn't edit
okay with
tweets
that.
you couldn't edit tweets before if you wanted if you
No.
messed up and said something really stupid like
You just-
chiefs and
you
chefs
Yeah,
you had to
just
delete it, right?
or
Yeah.
and you hope that nobody took a screenshot.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean,
So-
it can still
'Cause I
take
feel-
a screenshot if you edit it.
But I feel like being able to edit your tweets takes a little bit of the danger
It
out
does.
of posting on Twitter, right?
Yep.
Like it allows somebody to say something really stupid, and
But-
then people respond to them, and they're because the comments don't change,
Right.
and then they
the
fix
one
it.
thing is it does say on the tweet edited. So you
Edited.
know if a tweet's been edited.
Reddit does that too, right?
Yeah.
Like Reddit's always been able to, yeah.
And then the base level and up includes encrypted DMs. So just so you know, your DMs aren't encrypted right now if you're not paying anything.
What a weird way to try and. I get the $1 fee, because it makes it not worthwhile with these people that are spinning up just armies of bots
dozens and
to
hundreds of
push
bots.
to push a specific, because you can pay third parties to push your content by
Right.
having an army of bots go like the post, and that breaks the algorithm. So I can see that
Yep.
that reasoning behind like the $1 sign up fee. That should be nothing, but like the other stuff and trying to like cut it apart, that's just not worth it to the basic user.
And in related news, Meta has announced that they are going to charge Facebook and Instagram users in Europe a subscription fee for an ad-free experience starting this month.
I feel like that's only to throw sand in the eye of the like GDPR and the EU's privacy laws that, like, because they're really cagey over there about ads and what's served, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little bit like that. It's going to be $9.99 per month for web and $12.99 for mobile apps.
right.
Right now,
A month?
initially, a month, yeah. Initially, one subscription covers all the accounts linked to its owner. So that would be your Threads, Instagram, Facebook.
I kind
you
of
know.
I kind of like this a little bit because they complain a lot over there about privacy. I deal with that a lot where I work. And so the law states that they don't you have to offer them a choice. And I like that capitalism is sneaking in here a little bit and being like, yeah, sure. Here
here's
is your
your choice.
choice. Here's your
Pay us
choice.
money.
You can pay us or not, and watch how fast their resolve crumbles when they have to pay
Yeah.
for their privacy.
Wait.
You
This
know?
costs money? Oh,
Oh,
here, take my information.
I expect, like, there's a difference between expectation of privacy
Yeah.
and paying for it. That
Yep.
that whole getting it. So I like it a little bit. I chuckled a little bit at this, but $12.99.
That's a
That's
lot.
a lot.
if you
That's a
ask me.
lot.
Yeah,
That's a
And-
whole ass Netflix
that's right.
subscription.
And that's just right now. Starting in March next year, it will be an additional €6 or pounds
Oof.
per month for additional accounts. So like it'd be okay, so the first this month's covers all of the accounts linked to the owner. But if you have multiple accounts, you're going to have to pay for each account separately after that if you want to keep multiple accounts ad free. So
Oof.
there you go. And
No-
this was
no,
and
thank you.
the funniest part about that was this comes on the heels of Meta's third quarter earnings report that says their ad revenue is the highest it's been in a while.
Yeah, right.
So they're like
Not the highest in the industry, just in a while for them.
the highest it's been for them in quite a while.
Yeah.
And or at least in recent memory and recent stats anyway. And so they're like, well, we'll get you on the ads or we'll get you on the subscriptions. So
You feel like there's any appetite that this will ever come to the U.S.? I can't see
no,
people
Not-
being worth like over
only-
here.
they might roll it out just to see who they could get, see who signs up for it. People that have enough money, enough disposable income and really hate ads would do it.
Right.
But it won't be because of, I really want my privacy, because
Right.
those kinds of people aren't on social media anyway,
Right. Well, and I could see putting a price on it when you're selling an upsell, right? Like when you're doing ad free. Okay,
Yeah.
that's something I might want. It's when you do stuff like Twitter where they're like, no, if you don't pay, you get degraded service now.
Yeah,
or
you
like Netflix is doing it. They're like, if you don't pay more, now you get this ad version for the same price we were giving it before. I hate them. I hate the subtractive business model
Yes.
where they take you to something. Like I'm all for capitalism in that way where it's like, I'll buy if I want something and I've got the income, fine, I'll add it, I'll take it. But when they start messing with the base model to try and squeeze more blood from a stone, it's annoying.
Agreed. And in other social media news, back to X, Elon has proclaimed that X will be able to replace your bank account by the end of 2024.
Wait, what? In a year? Come on.
I got a question for you guys. Let's say you know someone who has just gotten worse over the last year, and he's just made your life horrible. Would you trust him with your money?
No.
Probably
No.
not.
No.
Would I
It-
trust Jared with my money? Absolutely not.
Oh, that's harsh. But X thinks that you'll ignore the entire last year where they completely destroyed Twitter, and they
Yeah,
want to.
Side note, Twitter is officially now worth half
Yeah.
of what Elon Musk
fully.
paid for it.
So
Fully.
it's just not me saying this. It's
No, this
people
is-
everywhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is
Well, and
a
let's-
proven market cap, and it is worth half of what he paid.
Let's be honest. Elon Musk says it's next year. Next year he'll say it's next year, and the year after
Yeah.
that will be
Yeah,
the year after that.
that's
Right?
how
That's
he
his track
is.
record. It's never going to
Yep.
come to be.
100%. Yep.
So he wants ex-employees to replace your bank.
Previous employees.
No, ex-employees to develop software that will replace your bank. He says, when I say payments,
I apologize.
actually means someone's entire financial life, Musk said. If it involves money, it'll be on our platform. Money or securities or whatever. What is the
doesn't-
whatever?
Sounds.
I don't know, but
Crypto.
he said he wants his developer. He doesn't have any developers left.
Yeah.
He barely has support staff left.
got like
I'm not sure
16.
I'm not sure he has janitors left because he doesn't pay his bills. Like,
All right, all 12 of you developers that I have left, I want you to make this app your bank.
yeah. Can't we just take can't we just call up America First or something and just First America? Like, can't we just, what do we got to do here, guys?
Oh man.
The quote continues. So it's not just like send $20 to my friend. I'm talking about like you won't need a bank account.
Oh my gosh.
What an idiot.
And then
This
the
guy.
CEO, Linda Yaccarino, she said, it would blow my mind if we don't have that rolled out by the end of next year. No, Musk said that, actually.
Yeah,
Not-
Musk said, "Come on,
Linda,
don't throw that on her."
Yeah, no.
She's not that way.
She's probably going. What did I sign up
Yeah.
for?
No. All she's
This is
doing
that
making-
CEO mouthpiece, right?
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
yeah.
All she's doing is watching to make sure that the checks cash each month.
Yeah.
Whatever the fat stacks that he decided to pay her.
Imagine the
is
stress she
clearing.
must feel
Oh my
in her
gosh,
life.
she must not sleep, or she must be on massive doses of antidepressants or
It's
something.
it's either that or she signed up knowing that I don't care what happens.
Right.
You know,
He was like, look, I don't. Yeah, or he was just like, look, I don't care what you do. I'm paying you this amount to take my beating for me.
I just had a brilliant idea of what she's doing. She is meticulously cataloging everything that is going wrong in Twitter during her tenure so that she could then release a book. And
make
Oh.
tons of money.
Of course
Yeah.
she is.
Book deal. Nailed
Yep.
it.
Yep.
That's a genius plan.
And then
Well,
movie rights. Woo.
So there
She's
you
sad.
go.
What a plan.
That's part of Elon Musk's push to make X the everything app.
And he's got that on his mind right now, setting that thing up to be the everything space, the town square, the everything in it.
Let me tell you, if Apple has already shown to have bitten off more than it can chew with the Apple credit card, and Goldman Sachs is not happy with them about how that's going. I've seen articles about it. So if Apple and Goldman Sachs are having trouble with this kind of thing, what chance do you think Elon Musk and Twitter has
0.
to make
Aliens.
something like this work?
And do you really
test-
think his stuff is going to be FDIC insured?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. You know,
A chance.
because he set up Venmo, didn't he, or PayPal? Did he?
PayPal. He
PayPal.
was
Yeah.
he was instrumental in PayPal.
Yeah. So those aren't FDIC,
Which
insured.
isn't a bank. It's
No,
not
it's not a bank,
FDIC
yeah.
insured.
And
It's not a
now Venmo's doing the same thing. You can get a Venmo debit card and you can send your money there, but it's
charge
not
it. Yeah, charge it
FDIC.
Yep.
It's not FDIC insured, and it's just like, okay, fine, I get taking that risk, but that's usually reserved for us crypto heads. You're like we know, but like when your real money is not insured and somebody steals your stuff or the banks
wants
go
to
under
take the worst aspects of crypto and bring it to
to the actual financial system.
yeah.
Man,
I feel like
sure,
he just wants to pull the levers and see what snaps and breaks.
I sure wish crypto was insured.
I
That'd
know.
have been nice.
There's a lot of people out there
Been
that
so good.
I meant to put that story in our notes, but so the LastPass
The
pain
saga
is
continues.
it's really becoming it. So they cracked the hash for the master database password,
Oh man.
which means they now have your password if you didn't change your LastPass. And there's already been reports, one in particular, where a guy just lost 4.4 million in crypto out of his wallet because of the LastPass breach.
I feel for him.
So you feel that it hit you in the feels.
He you know, his wound is like losing an arm, and mine was like getting a bad paper cut compared to his, but still I get it.
I'm going to say no to that, Tony, because I think yours was worse. I think you had so little to lose. He probably didn't lose all of his crypto or his money. If you got 4.4 million tied up
You
in
would think.
crypto,
Yeah, that he's
you got to have
other
more
money.
somewhere else, right? But
Yeah.
for you, that was
That was it.
that was it.
Crypto.
That was
Everything.
it. You were
gone.
out of the game. You just
All done.
It's like Texas Hold'em. You just got a bad hand. You went all in. Anyway,
I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I think we've hit the big stories for the week.
Oh, I got a lightning round.
Oh, you want a lightning round? All
I
right.
do. Osmo Pocket 3. This is a DJI
This is actually a good one.
gimbal, and it is so good, so much better than the predecessors. I have the Pocket 1, and I got into this because I wanted to have a stabilizer for my phone to film my family, but it was just so cumbersome to get the stabilizer out, put my phone into the clamp, and make sure it's all set up. It took like 5 minutes, and by the time I did that, the moment's gone. So anyway,
Yeah, and you know what? You sold that to me.
I know, and
And you know how many
Nice.
times I've used it?
this is the way Jared
Once-
does, by the way.
Zero. After testing it out, I put it on the shelf and it sat there. ever
Hey, so you tested it out.
It's my fault. I haven't used it.
Anyway,
donate that. I'd take it, Tony. I'd use it.
do it.
Keep going, Jaron.
Anyway, Pocket One is what I had, and it was a pretty cool device. Did 4K, tiny postage stamp screen, like literally the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah.
Didn't do HDR. Fast forward to the Pocket 3, 2 generations later. It went up in price from $349 to $519, but you're getting
Whoa.
a much larger sensor. The touchscreen is like 3 times the size of the original. It's got a cool swivel, so if you're doing portrait mode, it's in line with the handle. But if you want landscape, you swivel the touchscreen, and you actually have a nice usable screen size there. Does HDR, an OLED screen, which 700 nits of brightness, so much better than the previous generations. And the previous Osmos, if you wanted Wi-Fi, you had to like get this weird clip and put it at the bottom, which extended it by like an inch. And they had like these other add-ons too, like a joystick that you can stick on the bottom. All that is built into the unit now. So they did raise the price, but it is a much, much better device than what it was before.
More features. I just imagine Jaron running around doing shots with it, like in the park with his kids, where he runs by and does one of like the lift shots past his kid and like twists his arm.
Yes, but at Disneyland.
I knew it. Like I could just see you. Like I
Yeah.
mean, you're small enough to duck through the crowd, so I can see that at Disneyland. Like you just can duck and weave, and they're like, "Oh, it's a cast member."
Yeah.
Obviously, that's one of the 7 dwarfs.
I led you there. I feel bad.
Sorry. I saw an
Okay.
opportunity. I had to take
I've
it.
been hearing short jokes my whole life.
Yeah, you're immune to them now.
Yep.
At least in public you are. Late at night
I
when you
will
weep onto your
Weep
pillow.
quietly into my pillow tonight.
Wait a minute. So we're talking this is like a 70% increase in price though. This is massive.
That's not 70%.
If you had to buy
it's
all
like-
the
it's like-
add-ons,
It's like 50% because it's 350 to 520. That is a massive jump.
but if you had to
I'm
buy
gonna
all
do the
those,
math now.
yeah, if you had to buy all those add-ons before for Wi-Fi and everything, how much did that cost? Like in the joystick, which we'll just say is a better touch controls, right? If you had to buy those before, how much did it raise the price of the first one? Because I bet it's comparable once you do that with the features they've added.
Yeah, yeah. If you get all the add-ons, the price difference isn't nearly as bad. It's a 49% increase over the predecessor.
I said 50.
But I think the biggest thing here is the touchscreen and the larger sensor. So you're getting
Sure.
much higher quality video than what you were getting before.
But those are the kind of upgrades you expect in consumer electronics the next model to have with no price increase. That's the thing.
This isn't incremental in my view. This is quite a generational leap.
Yeah, you jumping from the 1 to the 3. Was the 2 closer in price?
2 was much closer in functionality and price to the 1.
Right.
The only thing the 2 added pretty much was HDR. Whereas this, it's just loads better all around.
You can get a creator combo for $669 that comes with a
Nice.
wireless mic, a DJI wireless mic, and a tripod attachment. Well, there you go. These are pretty cool. If it's something that I had a use for, it'd be one thing. But like I said,
Even shoots in 10-bit D-Log and HLG, and supports time codes.
so you're gonna get one? Sounds like you're gonna get one.
If I saw it on sale, I wouldn't say no.
I bet James is going to get one.
He's probably already pre-ordered one.
Probably.
All right, I think we're gonna call it at that lightning round. That was a long one. Was that Owen's? Oh no, that was Jaren's.
that was Owen's.
Jaren's lightning round.
Yeah, I usually do that. I'll take the hit.
All right. Before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers. Thank you so much for your support. $6 a month or more at patreon.com/gadgetspot gets you a shout out on the air for your generous support. And Jaren has those right now.
Thank you to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wolfball Tony. Thanks to Upskilled Triantula. Andy Bird, be the 8-year-old. Travis Johnson, check out the new Baldur's Gate 3 custom tech stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Nathan Motzkus, Matt Nelson. Y'all should check out Hendrix Craftsman on Instant TikTok. Me Speechless Like a Japanese Video Game, ... Josh D, Dick Messerly, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, Joe, There's No Place Like G28X0Y0Z0, Ryan M, and Adam Hecht.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll see you next week or in a couple days if you listen to Geek Show Arcade. And until then, Oh, Lando, you're back. Take
I'm
us out.
back. Don't ask for a new computer. Your current one has a cup holder in it. Be an end user.